Okay, so here's how we're gonna start it out. You should have the same version of Photoshop right here. Let me just move this. I know you can't see this. Hold on one second. Alright. Okay, Photoshop. Alright, we're gonna start out by just opening up a new file. New. This right here is you go to File and then New, just like that. New. This is where you decide how big you want your canvas to start out. You got your width and your height. Right now it's selected to pixels. You can either inches, which is what I work in, instead of pixels. So if you want your block 20 inches wide and 40 inches tall, that's what you're working with right there. So we're going to start out with a canvas 20 inches by 40 inches tall. Your background, we've got it selected to just white. So, I mean, that's something you can just leave. It should be the same every time. Now, you can also, you say it says save presets. You can save it, and it'll stay in here in these presets. See, like if you want to just start out with a US piece of paper, you're an 8.5 by 11, you can click that, and it'll automatically put it in here as 8.5 by 11. 10 by 10, whatever. Or you can do a custom, which is what we're doing right now. So we're going to start it out by doing a 20 by 40. Okay? Now, alright, so you hit OK, and here's your block. Now, you can grab this corner right here and move it out to where you can get a good look. Also, if you take your two fingers and put it on the mouse pad and pinch it open and pinch it closed, just like you do on your iPhone, you can zoom in like that. See, I'm doing it. You can't see it, but I'm gonna zoom back in. I went too far. Oh my goodness. I never used that technique, but anyway, let me get back to where I was at. Okay. I'm going to show you what I just did here in a second. But anyway, alright. Now you see I've got the magnifying glass hovering right there. We're going to start out by talking about these tools over here and what they do. This one up here is just your grab tool. It's a move tool. So if you've got something on the canvas here, you can click it and grab it and move it. That's all that tool is used for. Selecting. It's actually one of the main tools that you're going to use if you want to resize something. This is what you're going to want to use. I'm just going to throw an object on here real quick. Let me just throw an object so that we can kind of play around with something here. Alright, I got this truck right here that I was playing with the other day. And all I'm doing here is I went down to Finder, opened up Finder, and I've got a file saved in my desktop, and I'm just going to grab it and just drop it right on top of the canvas, and it should move it in there, and there it did. Now, like I said, I've got the move tool selected. If I had this tool selected, I couldn't do this, but I've got the move tool selected right now, so I can grab a corner. And move it. Okay. Now, if I grab the corner and I just move, do you see how it distorts the picture? You don't ever want that, obviously. But the way you not have that happen is you click the corner and you hold it down. And you hold shift down at the same time. If you hold shift, if you click in the corner and hold shift at the same time, no matter where I move my mouse, see I'm going left and right in a diagonal, it's not going to change. It leaves it relative. See, I'm going to let go of shift right now, watch. Now I'm going to push shift. It put it back into perspective. Alright, so, boom. And there you go. Now, Alright, now we're going to go back over here to this tool. Like I said, you got a move tool here. We can move it if we want to. Alright, this right here is called, this is your selection. Whenever you select, there's different ways. You got to understand, you got to think of it like this. You're selecting something, and you're selecting it. Anything inside of that dotted line is a selection. You've selected it. Now there's different types of selections in the selection tool. If you notice, there's a little black arrow in the corner of that box right there. If I double click on it, it'll open up different types of selections. See, right now I've got square selected. I can do elliptical. So now it's going to do a circle. And if I hit shift, it's going to leave it in perspective as a perfect circle. When we talked about that. If I let go of shift, I can do anything like that I want. Okay? Now, real quick, I know you asked about the shortcuts on the computer board. We're going to learn them one at a time. Remember, anything with ants running around like that is selecting. So if you want to deselect it, like you do not want it selected anymore, what you're going to do is you're going to, by the way, every shortcut that I use, you have to hold down Command and then something. So always remember, it's Command and then another button. So you hold down Command and then it's another button. If we want to deselect, you hit Command and D for deselect. So Command, hold down Command, and then press the D, letter D, and that's it. So if you got this selected and you want to get rid of that, just Command D, it'll deselect it. Deselect. Just remember that, deselect. Alright, now, they've got these are automatic ones right here, your square, your rectangle, and your marquees. They got this other one, it's called a lasso. Now I'm going to click lasso and watch. I'll be able to circle anything I want, and if I let go, boom, watch. It's selected now. It's the same thing, except it's not a perfect circle. You just drew your selection. So I'm going to deselect that. Like, let's say I wanted to select this like that, okay? That's an easy way to do it. Instead of drawing, like, if you wanted to be a little bit more precise, my computer's acting a little slow, but there you go, all right? I'm going to deselect that. That is the lasso tool. This right here is the quick select tool, okay? I'm going to zoom in. We're going to get to zooming in here in just a second, but I'm going to zoom in because let me just zoom in to this artwork a little bit better because I want to show you. Okay, I'm going to go back to the select tool, okay? If I want to select, this is like it works in, hold on. My computer is acting a little slow. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to restart Photoshop. Okay, now I'm back. Alright, back where we were. I restarted my deal. Anyway, quick selection tool. We want to select. And the reason why I'm going to kind of... Damn it. Hello? What's up? No. I'm not going to do that until Monday. Yeah. Okay. Are you okay? Alright, well, let me call you back. I'm right in the middle of something, Donnie. Alright, bye-bye. Alright, I'm back. let me just show. Let me just so yeah, because the background right now is a different color. Don't no. Let me show you why real quick. Hold on. I'm just gonna put another layer. Don't worry about what I'm doing right now. I'm gonna show you everything I'm doing in a little bit. Just hold on. It's just hard to see with okay, you see the image that I grabbed off of my Finder here has that white background in it, and that's the problems that you're gonna have whenever you're. This is why we select, because we want to cut out. We want to cut out all that white. You just want the truck sitting on the black background or whatever background. So anyway, now we're back to this tool, the quick selection tool. The number one rule, okay, look, you're going to come over here with your selection tool. You can either select the white or the red. It's however you want to do. If you wanted to select the red, then you can go in and select the red and do like that. Okay? Or what you can do, I hit Command D for deselect, or what you can do is just select the white. It's a little easier to come in there like that. You see what I'm saying? And it's taking a little bit. I probably should restart my whole computer. Okay, and you can play with this all you want, okay? You can get in there and cut out however you want to do it. And now the quick selection tool, what it the way it works is it distinguishes between colors. So you got, I'm going to hit deselect. See, I'm going to select this white in here, okay? The reason why it stopped at the red is because it distinguished between the two colors. Now, and then if I hit delete, it'll delete that white and it'll show through the background, okay? Now, one of the other things too is that on the, up here it says 5. That's 5 pixels. So if you could imagine like if I were to come in here and try and select okay, watch, I'm gonna hit deselect. Like let's say I was gonna try and select that black section in here. You see how the colors are really close? They're not far from each other. So if I were to select, bring this up to 12 or 15 pixels, what that's going to do is it's going to search 15 pixels and try and break it up like that. So 15 pixels is probably too much. Maybe you see how it's selecting all of that because it's 15 pixels is a pretty large area. Now, but I want to get more precise, so I bring it down to where it selects a lot. The tolerance is a lot lower, like 4 pixels. And chances are it's just gonna, you see how it's just selecting that now? Well, maybe even you need to go smaller. Like maybe a 3 pixel tolerance. And that see how like it's doing really small there? That's because it's only looking for differences of color of pixels in 3 pixel areas. A pixel is just a little square. It's there's millions of little squares in this thousands and thousands of little squares inside this artwork right here. And it's just looking for color differences between them. Anyway, we're going to move on because we're going to get back to that here in a little bit. Alright, this one, you know, this is a crop tool. If you wanted to, you could crop the whole image down to this square. Like, let's say, don't crop. Like, let's say, I'm going to zoom out. Let's say you're working in something and you're like, you know what? I don't need all this canvas. I just want to work with just this image. You can come over here and select just the image, square it out, and then you can hit enter, and it crops your whole canvas. The whole canvas shuts down to that size, or whatever size you cropped it to. Cropping is your whole image. Okay, so I'm gonna go back. Now, what I just did was, if you ever, like, let's say you mess up and you want to go back to your last thing you just did, you hit Command Z. Okay, you can hit Command Z, and if you come up here and look in these things, it gives you the shortcuts for you. Redo. Alright. Step, like, watch. Okay, like I was here a minute ago. If I want to step back, undo crop, undo. It's Command Z. Now, if you want to go back further steps than just the last step, that's step backwards, okay? That button right there took me forever to figure out. So you have to hold 3 at the same time. On the left hand side of your command button, there's a button called Alt Option. That button is your Alt Option button. That is your command button. So you hold those 2 buttons down at the same time. Look at your keyboard. Alt, that, and then Z, and it goes. So you can keep going back. Watch. I'm gonna hold down Alt and Command. I'm gonna keep hitting Z. Watch. Boom. See, look, my selection is back. See, that selection is back now. So anyway, you get it. That's how you go back. Now, that is a color picker. You see down here, if we click the color picker, you see how they got your color palette right here. If, let's say, you want to match a color, you grab, boom. See how I grab that color right there? Or you want to grab that gray. Or you want to grab that gray inside there, or the red, or whatever. And then if you can do whatever you want. Now you can click your paint bucket, and you can paint an area with that same color or whatever. All right. Anyway, a lot of these I really don't use. Of course, this is an erase button, an eraser. Okay, I'm gonna have to tell you this real quick. I'm gonna have to move to this. You see how they got this no symbol right here? It's not allowing me to erase on anything. Now I'm going to come over here to your layers. Real quick, we're just going to go over layers real quick. These are layers. This is the bottom is the bottom of the stack. This right here is a background layer, and it's locked. Whenever you first open up your new canvas, it automatically locks the layer. And I don't think you can't unlock it. You can't unlock the bottom layer, but you can delete it. So if you want, you can grab it and delete it, and now it's not there. And you can create another layer, bottom layer, and there you go. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna hit Control Alt and then Z. I want to go back and show you something real quick. You see how it's there right there, and it's locked. What you can do is, instead of, because you see what I did was I deleted it. I dumped it in the trash can. And then that's a new layer button right there. And I put it on the bottom. And I can come over here, grab a paint bucket. And then I can grab a white color. See how that's just switching between these 2 colors. Okay. Grab a white color. Select that color. Select that layer. You see, I turned that black layer off, by the way, just now by doing that. I can select that layer, grab the paint bucket, and color it white. Okay? Or, now I got it back, right? But it's not locked. I'm going to go back. So I'm going to hit Control Alt, Command, and Z, and go back to where we were, to where the layer was locked. And I'm going to turn black. Okay, now, what you could have done, instead of deleting it, this is the way I do it. If you want to duplicate a layer, like make another layer, you highlight the layer, hit Command, and you would think duplicate, D, but you can't do that, because remember, Command D is for deselect. You got to hit Command J, and now the way I think of it is Command duplicate. So that's how I remember to duplicate something. duplicate, J. So Command J, and it automatically made a copy. See, background copy. Now I can come over here, delete the locked one, and I'm good to go. And I can turn back on that black layer if I wanted. Now, see, these are in layers. The top one right now is the truck that I threw on top. And now we got the black layer, and now we got the white layer. And then if you turn that off, you got a transparency. There's nothing there. Alright, so we're going to turn all these layers back on, and we're going to go back to the eraser tool. Now we talked about, I said this thing has a black thing on it. I can't do nothing with it. And here's the reason why. Now if I click, because I don't have a layer selected. That's the problem. If the computer doesn't know what layer it wants me to erase on. Does it want me to erase on the top layer, the black layer, or the white layer? So we're going to select the layer. I'm going to select the black layer. Now you see, now all of a sudden I've got a little eraser crosshair. Over here now with the eraser tool, you can open your brush up to really big. Okay, now watch, I'm going to go, that's 70 pixels. I'm going to go up, look, now it's even bigger. Now I'm going to go up to 400 pixels. Okay, there's 400 pixels in that little circle right there. Okay, so that gives you an idea how big of a pixel is. Of course, we're working on a 20-inch by 40-inch canvas. Now I'm going to go back, I'm going to hit Command and the button next to Command, which is all option, and then I'm going to keep pressing Z. I'm going to press Z with every go back. I'm going to hit Z, 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 Z. Okay? Now, if, let's say I had that layer, I have that black layer selected, right? And I run my eraser over the truck layer. Watch what it's going to do. It's not going to erase the truck, right? But if I come back over here and grab my move tool, now, and try and move the truck. Now, you remember, if I want to move the truck, see right now, the black layer is selected. So if I try and move the truck, it's not going to move the truck. It's going to move the black layer. Watch. Oh, well, okay, I have auto select selected right here. Okay, you might want to have auto select selected, because if you select, you see how it toggles between the layers over here. If I select that, it automatically selects that layer. If I select that, it automatically selects that layer. If it's not selected, then if I was on this and I tried to move the truck, it wouldn't. It would just move the black layer, whatever layer is selected over here. Okay, so I like auto select, to be honest with you, because that you can move through your layers a lot quicker. Alright, so I'm going to get rid of that black, that white line that I just drew over there. Okay, now we're going to come over here. You got your paint bucket. Let's say paint bucket. I want to paint something red. Okay, I'm switching between these two. I want to paint something red, but you got to decide on what layer you want to paint red. If you have that one and you do it, it's going to paint that layer red. I'm going to go back. If you want to paint this layer, it'll paint that layer red. Now watch, you won't even be able to see it. I'm going to paint it red, but look, it's going to stay black. But if you look over here, it painted that layer red. Now if you come over here and go back to your move tool and move that black layer off, you can see that it's red underneath. And if I come over here and turn the layer off, you can see it. These eyes are turning that layer on and off. Okay? Now, hold on. B's got the damn air conditioner turned to fucking 0 degrees. Alright, now, we can't do anything with this, right here. Now, if I go to the black layer, I can erase all day. Now, if I come over here to this truck layer, look, it's not letting me erase it, and there's a reason why. You see that little box that's on top of the truck in this layer right here? That box is it's called, you see, watch, see it says Smart Object Thumbnail. What you're going to want to do is 2-finger click on the layer, and you're going to want to resaturize layer. Boom. There you go. It's gone. Now you can come over here and erase all you want. Now when I erased it, guess what it did? Now you can see the layer that's underneath it shine through. Okay, I'm going to go back, Command Z. Alright, now you understand that. Now if you want, you can put this layer underneath the black layer if you want. Now it's under there. You turn the black layer off, and now it's sitting on top of a red layer. I'm going to move it back on top. Turn my black layer back on. Alright, now, smudge tool, pretty simple. You can, well, my pixels, let me turn it up. You can, it takes a lot of memory to do it, and that's why my computer's, excuse me. Like, let's say you're having a hard time. Let's say you're having a hard time with the selection tool selecting this eye right here. Remember, I'm not even I gotta select that. You have to be selected on the layer for it to recognize. I was selecting on a black, so it's not recognizing it. If I select on the truck, it'll work a lot better. Okay, let's say I'm trying to select all this area in here. And right now I got the tolerance down to 3, so it's making it kind of tough. Okay. And it did a good job there, okay, for the most part. But like, let's say, Command deselect, I want to get tighter, or I want straighter lines. Click that. You're going to use a pen tool. Put a point, and you can kind of draw it. You can come down and bring it around, and you got to make the points meet. See the O there? Now you can't see it, but there's a little fine line. Double click. It says make selection. Don't worry about that. Boom. So that's a different way you can select if you're trying to get a little bit tighter, and you know you're not able to select it perfectly like you'd like it selected. Okay. Now I'm gonna zoom out. Now the zoom is down here. Okay. You got a plus to zoom in, and if you hit Alt Option, you know, the button right on the side of the command button, I'm just going to press it. Watch what it does. It puts a minus in there. So if you press it and then click on your mouse pad, instead of coming over here and selecting the minus one to zoom out and then selecting the positive one to zoom in, you can just hit Alt and it'll toggle between the two. Okay? And another thing too is if, like, let's say you're up here selecting, right? And you've selected this area, this whole box, like the inside of that truck. Well, you really didn't want to select that. You just wanted, let's say you just wanted to select this side of the truck, but you've selected all of this. There's a plus and a minus here too. Right now it's selected on plus, so it's gonna select that. If you hit the Alt button, watch over here. Watch. If I hit Alt, you see how it toggles between the two? If I hit the Alt and move it, look what it does. It takes the selection away. It takes it away. I mean, mine's running a little slow right now. I'm going to hit Alt. See, look, it's toggling to minus. I'm holding Alt down, and it'll get rid of it. See? It's selecting less and less. I'm having to play with it. My computer's acting a little silly. Alright, now, you see how it's getting rid of it? Anyway, so that's don't forget, you know, you can, it's a plus and a minus. You're either adding selection or you're subtracting selection. So I'm gonna hit Command D for deselect. Now if I want to go to zoom real quick, instead of clicking the zoom, like let's say I'm on the move tool, if I want to, like, you see I'm not even gonna go over there and click the magnifying glass. I'm gonna bring my move tool over here. If I hit the letter Z, just the letter Z on the keyboard, it automatically moves to the zoom button. I want to zoom out, so I hit the Alt, it goes to minus, and then click a couple times and boom. If I want to automatically go to the move tool, I don't have, there's shortcuts. And if you hover, like if you leave your mouse over the button, see it says move tool, comma, parentheses V, and then move the magnifying glass. If you hover over it, zoom tool, Z, it tells you what the shortcuts are. So I'm on the zoom tool right now. If I want to go to the move tool, I just hit the letter V. Go back to zoom. I don't have to be clicking over here. So now you know. Now you know. These, yeah, what's up?
You know you got the blinds hooked up on it?
What lines?
Upstairs?
I don't know what lines you're talking about.
The one for the condenser, for the ACs? You got the tank?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's fine.
Oh yeah, it's fine, it's fine. Alright, they also got a, this is a custom shape tool. If you could click this right here, I'm going to turn the black layer off real quick. If you click the custom shape tool right here, they've got these different shapes up here. If you click square, it'll do a square. If you do, if you click that, well, not that one. If you click this one, and you do your shapes here, different shapes. So like let's say you want a 4-leaf clover, it'll put you a 4-leaf clover. Okay. And you see how it's red and kind of weird looking, and it put that deal there. Just double click on the layer, resaturize layer. It'll flatten the layer out. Now I want to show you something. The like that right there, you can see is a 4-leaf clover, but it's hidden over that red. All right, now we're done. I'm gonna show you. Hold on, real quick. We're done with the tools. If you got to, go back and look. If you got to, but let me show you over here real quick about this one. Here's some of the layer options you got. We're gonna go to this 4-leaf clover. We're gonna double click on the layer. Double click on it. 2-finger click. I'm sorry, don't do that. Just double click on the layer. It brings up an option box. See layer styles. I'm going to cancel. I'm going to go back and do it again. On this layer here, we're going to double click on the layer. Now, we're on the layer right now with this 4-leaf clover. We can do different things. We can throw a drop shadow on it. But right now what we're going to do so you can see it is we're going to do color overlay. Automatically throws a color over the image. Okay. So if you click it, and turn it on off, and now you're in the color overlay area here. If you click satin and click on satin, there's different things you can change in the satin. So I'm gonna turn satin off. I'm gonna go back to the color overlay menu. Here are the different colors. If you click on that, it'll give you a color palette. You can change the colors however you want. Or if you move off the screen, look what it did. It automatically did a color picker. That's a color picker I'm working with. So if I come over here and click that black on that tire, it'll turn it black. Red or white off the truck. You can match colors easily like this. So anyway, go back to black or gray, whatever that is. And if you're over here, you're picking colors obviously on the palette. Every color is assigned a number. This number right here is the color, that color right there. That's it. So if you wanted to, you could copy this color right here, highlight it, copy, and you can, when you're working in another piece of artwork, you can take that color number and put it in the color picker deal, and it'll match color perfectly. All right. So anyway, you know what? Let's turn it back to a blue so we can see it. All right. Now we've colored it blue. Let's throw a drop shadow on it. Now you see, you can barely see that drop shadow. So let's click on the drop shadow. Now we're in the drop shadow area. Here's some of the things you can do. You can throw out the distance on it. The size. Let's do the size of the shadow. Spread. Why can I not see it? Okay. See, okay, there. Now you started. You got to play with it. See how it's dropping it, and you see how the shadow looks very dark. You can turn it down to where it looks more like a shadow. See that, the opacity, to where it's not as heavy of a shadow, maybe more subtle, like that. All right. You can change the angle of the shadow by this. And if you look over here, so if you got a light source that you're trying to work with, or whatever, you know, you can do that. The size of the shadow, see how it like spread it out. Anyway, you can play with that all day long. We're gonna leave it on there. Oh wait, you know what? I'm gonna double click on it. Go back to our selection. There's other things you can do too. There's an inner shadow that you can throw on there, and of course, if you click inner shadow and go to, you can open it up. There's different things you can do. I mean, you're really limited by your imagination. There also bevel and contour is pretty cool. If you hit bevel and contour, see how watch. I'm gonna deepen it. Let's see. Size it. See that? It gives it that curved look to it. If you'd like, and there's all kind of settings in here that you can play with. Satin is, I like satin. It kind of darkens it up a little. Of course, you can go to the satin layer, satin deal, and you can change the opacity on it, and you can also change the size on it, which does some. Hold on. Anyway, but yeah, you can play with it. Pattern overlay. You know, there's here's a big one. Stroke. Well, let's turn all this off real quick. The bevel and the contour, the satin, and stroke. Stroke is a line that goes around your object. So let's click in the stroke layer. Right now, the stroke around it is 9 pixels. We're going to bring it up. See that? You can make the stroke on it bigger, smaller, however you want, whatever look you're going for. You can also change the color of the stroke. Here's the color. You want a red stroke, you want to match a white, something off the truck or whatever, there you go. The opacity of the stroke, you can turn it down. Okay, or you can, now another good one, you can turn the stroke on the inner, inside, or on the outside of the object. Alright, now we're done in all this. That right there is all the options you can do inside of a layer. And even you can even come in, it automatically puts them in here, and you can actually turn them off from here if you'd like. You can also change your opacity of your layers here. So like let's say we got this 4-leaf clover, I want to turn it down. You can barely see it. It shines through. Okay, you got that? There you go. Now I'm going to delete this layer. I'm just going to highlight it and hit delete. I'm going to delete that layer too. I'm going to delete the truck. I'm going to delete that. And then I'm going to zoom. I want to zoom out, so I'm hitting Alt. Alright, now we're going to go back with a white. So look, we're going to turn this to white. I'm just going to grab my paint bucket. Select white. Boom, turn it to white. Now I got a white layer. Alright, now we're going to do an LSU background for a shot block. We're going to come over here to Safari. Grab a helmet. LSU logo. We're going to grab, go to images. You know what? That one looks badass. Yeah, let's do this one. Alright, whenever you're in Google, do you see how they got these pixel sizes right here? That's a 1300 by 1300 by 1024. That's a big image right there. That's a pretty big image right there, 600. That's pretty big. But some of these are like real small. So if you spread them out, it's going to pixelate them. So this is decent. I'm going to click it. I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to copy the image. See what I did? Double click. Copy image. I'm going to go over here. See you later, Jimmy. Have a good one, man. I appreciate you, buddy. Then go back to Photoshop. Have my move tool. Have my move tool selected. And then I'm going to hit, you can come over here, hit file and paste or edit and hit paste if you want. Or here's the shortcut, Command V. So I'm going to hit Command V and boom, there it is. See how small it is right there? It's kind of small. I'm grabbing it and I'm also hitting the shift button too. Alright. And if you notice, it looks really pixelated right now, but that's okay, don't worry. Put it in the middle, wherever you want it. And when you hit enter, it's gonna fix it. Alright, and there you go. So there you go. Now let's say okay, now this block right now is 20 by 40. Let's go ahead and we're gonna make this really pretty. Alright, only thing bad about this one is that it's kind of small. It's not too bad though. Okay, let's just go back. Okay, what we're going to do, first off, if I turn this layer off, do you see how that white's there? So, now look, you see this background copy right here? I'm going to double click on it. Remember, we're going to change the layer. I want that layer, I don't want the background white. So let's say instead of grabbing the paint bucket and grabbing a color and doing all that stupid stuff, what I do is I just double click on the layer, the background copy, the background, and I do a color overlay. Alright? And then I click on the color overlay. Not only, you see there's two things you got to do here. You got to check it, and then you got to highlight it. And then you're in the color overlay section. If I'm over here, you know, I don't want that checked. I got color overlay checked, but I need to highlight this box in order to get to the options for the color that I want to overlay it to. So anyway, I'm going to click the color. I can pick a color, or I can come over here and grab that purple. Okay? I can grab that purple. Okay? I'm going to hit OK. Now you see we already got a problem. This is white and it doesn't look good. There's a couple things that you can do to fix this. Here's what now we can select. What we would normally do right now is we'd go in here, we'd select all the white. Okay? Real quick, I'm going to go over this with you real quick. If you click the layer, highlight the layer, go to select. Remember, we're talking about selecting. You can go to select. Okay? You can select color range. Now this isn't going to work for what we're trying to do, but I want to show you what you can do. You can come over here and select the white color. Okay? If you come over here and you see how it's not selecting it as hard, but we're going to bring it up to where it selects it heavy. All the white in there. And I hit OK. Watch what it does. It selects all the white. All the white in that layer is selected. So if I hit delete with the layer selected, hit delete, it'll delete everything that's selected. Alright, now watch. I'm going to hit Command deselect to get rid of all those ant lines. So if you had something you wanted to look through, you could do it like that. If you want to get rid of that white. But that's not what we want to do. So because we just wanted to get rid of just the outside white, not the white inside the LSU and everything. So I am going to go back, and hit deselect. Okay. Now I'm going to go and hit the select tool, and I'm going to start selecting the white on here. And it might not get it all, so you'll have to go in there and fix it. And you see it's doing a pretty good job because first off, the color, the differences in the color are pretty good. I mean, it goes from a white to a gold, so it's the chances of it not, I mean, it's gonna do a pretty good selection. And if I were to restart my computer, this would happen a lot quicker, but okay. Y'all out? I see y'all. Could you turn the air conditioner off for me? Oh my goodness. Yes, yes. I'm freezing. Okay. I'll see y'all later.
Bye.
Okay. Now that it's all selected, I'm gonna my computer stops thinking about what it just did. I'm gonna hit delete. I'm gonna have the layer selected, and I'm gonna hit delete. Now, you see how I got the outside? The inside is selected. It is not selected. The outside, the white is selected. Now, if you wanted to select, like if I hit delete right now, it's gonna delete all that. Now, I'm gonna go back, Command Z. If I wanted to delete the other end of it, you double click, select inverse, and watch. It's going to delete that. Okay, I'm going to go back, Command Z, but I didn't want to do that obviously, so I'm going to hit double select, select inverse, delete that. Now, I'm going to hit deselect. Yes, we still got some white in there. It's not a problem. Instead of selecting just the white, you come over, you remember this is the quick selection tool. This right here is a square tool. So we're just going to come over here. We got the layer selected. Come grab. Boom. There you go. Oh. Okay. Alright, now we got this pretty deal here, but it really doesn't pop yet. So I'm going to show you one other quick trick that I like to do. Okay, this color overlay stuff, you see, you know how we had all these selections in here? We can get rid of all that if you just double click and hit, you'd have to convert it to a smart object. Remember that box we couldn't, now we can't do that. Double click and resaturize layer, and now it's back to a flat object again. And you got this on top and it looks good. Now, here's a trick I like to do to liven things up. Add another layer. Put that layer on the bottom of the stack. Okay? You're gonna make this layer black. Alright? You're gonna come over here. You're gonna grab your paint bucket. Grab black. Okay? And you're gonna paint this layer black. You're going to highlight the layer, paint it black. You're not going to see it because why? It's underneath. Remember, so if we turn the purple layer off, it's there, okay? It's there. Alright. Now, go to your move tool. I mean, you don't have to, but alright. With your black layer selected, go over here to filter, render, lens flare. This, now you see this black, that's that black layer. Remember, we have it selected. If we had the purple layer selected, this would be purple, obviously. What we're going to do is we're going to put this flare where we would think this is at, behind the tiger. And we're going to turn up the brightness. Okay? That might be too bright. You'll get a big white spot, maybe. And you have different types. That's kind of a cool one. Alright. Now, hit OK. You can't see it, but watch. It's going to pop up here in the... Now this is how you do it. You got behind it, you got that layer, right? But it's black. So here's what we can do. We can turn that layer back on, highlight the layer, the purple layer, and turn the opacity down to where you can see through the purple layer and see the black layer. That might be too much. And that gives it that that little bit of glow to it. Okay? That's one thing I like to do on mine. It kind of makes it look real professional. Now, a while ago, we had now watch this. With that white, since it's white behind there, there's a good chance we could delete some of that white in there and it would look kind of cool. So let's just try it. We're going to come to the tiger layer. We're going to go to select, color range, and we're going to select the white in the tiger. Hit OK. All the white in there in that tiger image is selected. We're going to delete it. And hit deselect. Yeah, it doesn't look that good. Even if I were to bring the opacity down, it probably kind of does actually. Now what I just did was I brought the it actually looks badass. What I did was I took the purple layer like I did a while ago, because if I turn it up, opacity, it's solid purple. We cannot see the black layer with the light underneath it. So if I turn it down, but if you turn it down enough, that looks pretty cool. But you know what, to be quite honest with you, it's a little too dark and you might have problems seeing it through ice. So to go back to where we were, hit Command and the button on the side of the Command, Alt Option, and then you're going to hit Z for every time you want to go back. So back, back, back. Now we're to the point where we selected. How do we get rid of the ants? Command D for deselect, and now you're back. All right, now we were talking earlier. Dad was talking about putting shot block on the left and the right hand side of the block. Now you remember when you set this image down on top of that sled, it's going to fit perfect because it's a 20 by 40. We want, and not only that, your printer prints on a 24 inch. It's 24 inches wide. So when you print this out, this is 20 inches wide. You're going to have 4 extra inches. So you might as well deal with it. I mean, put it to use. So here's how we're going to do with that. Here's what we're going to do with that. 2 inches on either side. We want to open up our canvas. Our canvas right now is 20 by 40. We're going to go to Image, Canvas Size. We can change our canvas size. Remember when we set up as 20 by 40? We're going to do the width at 24 inches. Now, this right here pushes your image to the left or to the right. So if we did this, this is your image. It would put the 4 inches extra over here. If we put it over here, it would put the 4 extra inches on this side. But we want it in the center, so we leave the image in the center, and watch. There's your extra 2 inches on either side. Now if you can't see it, what you can do, you see how it's transparent right now? It's not really that big of a deal, because you don't have to make another layer like this and put it on the bottom and then turn that layer white, paint it white. You don't have to do that, because the reason why is because the paper you're printing on is white anyway, so it's not a big deal. So even if you had the layer turned off, it's not a big deal. So, but let's just turn it on so that we kind of get an idea of what we're looking at. Come over here, you're going to go to the text one, text, okay? Up here is your text properties, what size, how many pixels, wide and whatnot, your font that you're using. I use Serpentine Bold. If you want it centered, to the left, to the right, and the color. If you click that, you can choose your color. We're going to pick black. Whenever you click, now you see you can barely see the cursor, so automatically I know that I need to come up and bump that size up a little bit more. And now you see how I created a text layer over here? Alright, now I'm going to just grab my keyboard and I'm going to type in shop block. Alright, now you can't see it, right? Hold on, I can't see it either. shopblock.com. No, we can't see it. Why? Because the text layer is below the black layer. It's below everything. So what do we want to do? We want to grab the layer and move it to the top. Boom. See? Now, it's kind of small right now. So we got the move tool. We grab a corner. Don't grab the side, but grab a corner. Hit shift. Then open it up. And right now it's in italics, and I don't like italics. So you go back to your text tool, click, highlight the layer, click on it. You can edit it. If you highlight all the text and see that little button right there? That's italics. Take the italics out. I had done some stuff, and you see this is over here. This is hidden in your tool panels over here. The A is for alphabet. It pops it open. You got all these same options right here. And if you don't see this tool thing right here for you, you can come over here to window, and you can pop it up right here. You can turn your layers on and off. See, it got rid of my layer view. Turn my layers back on. See, now it's gone. Character, where the hell are you at? Right there. Alright, anyway. Now what we want to do is we want it to run along the side. You can take this and you can have the layer highlighted. You come over here. If you come to the corner, it puts a curved one, and you can turn it like this if you want. But I never do it because I can never get it straight up and down. So I'm gonna hit Command Z and go back, undo. I'm gonna go over here to File. Edit. Go to Transform, and you're just gonna rotate it clockwise, 180. 90. Put it over here on the end, and yes, it might not fit perfectly. Hold Shift. So you get it the size you want. Now, of course, if you can't see what you're doing, go in a little bit. The Move tool, click V. Grab a corner, hold Shift. Hit Enter, and it automatically locks it. I'm going to go zoom out. I'm going to hit the letter Z. Hit the Alt Option button, which puts the minus. Click on the mouse pad a couple times, and boom. Now, remember, I'm going to hit the Move tool because I want to select my I'm going to go highlight my, my text layer. Okay, let's say, obviously this isn't quite enough here. And it's actually, it's upside down. Because when you lay this down on the block, it's going to be upside down when you fold it. So we're going to hit Edit, Transform, and we're going to flip it 180. There. And also, if you hit your arrow keys, you can move it a little bit more precise than using your mouse pad. Let's say I want to put it again over here. All I got to do is, how do you duplicate a layer? Command J, Command Duplicate. So Command J, and now it's sitting on top. See, there's two of them. It's a copy. You can't see it because it's sitting on top of it. Grab it and move it up here if you want. Now you can got two of them. Alright. And now if we want to do another one, select the layer, Command J. Now there's another one. You can come over here and bring it on this side. Move it in a little bit. Go to Edit, Transform, 180. Command J, duplicate it. I'm going to hold the arrow up button and look. Too slow. Okay, now look, you want to get, let's say you want to get these at the same height. You see this line right here and this line? That's a ruler. See, that's 0, that's 25, that's 24 inches. If you grab this and bring it over here, it'll put rulers on there for you. Okay? So you can see. So like, let's say you wanted to get these at the same height. Alright? You can make sure the same height. And let's say you wanted to center, let's say you want to make sure this logo right here is centered. See how whenever you select a layer, how it puts that box around, it also puts it centers it. You can see the center. Well, let's highlight the. I've selected now the background layer, and you see how I put a square there, and there's a dot there, and there's a square down here. I'm gonna zoom out a little. See how that is centered out? Put a ruler there, right where on the lines. Then you can come over here to your tiger layer. See, I'm not even centered. See, that's not centered. You can go over here and center it. Okay. There you go. Now you can get, these rulers don't print, by the way, so if you print and they're there, it's not a big deal. And there you go. I like to come over here and let's add another layer on top. I've selected, by the way, if you want text, you don't have to come over here and hit the text tool. You just got to click the letter T. So hit the letter T, and it automatically shot block. I'm gonna write shotblock.com. It's in black right now. I want to change it. I want to change it to white. And I'm going to write shotblock.com. Oh my goodness. And then I'm going to take it and I'm going to move it over here. And then I may even just bring it down a little bit. Boom. This is ready. That's a badass deal right there. Any LSU fan would be freaking shitting their pants to have a background like that. Alright. Now, what I do, yeah, I don't think you use lights, but look, real quick, I think that's about it that I can think of right now. I'm sure you're going to have other questions. I want to do one other thing with you real quick. I'm going to save this because I think it just looks that fucking cool. Save as. What I do is I have a folder in my computer with nothing but vinyls. different ones. And I'm going to call this LSU. LSU large block. I'm going to hit save. I want to do one more thing. It's a little bit more in depth. It's gonna be real quick. It takes a lot of practice. You know what? I'm gonna make another quick video. I'm gonna end this video here though. Let me think if there's anything else. That's okay. I'll do it real quick. Let this finish saving. Okay. I'm just going to go in here. Since it's all saved already, I can delete all the layers I want to delete. It's not a big deal. As long as my computer's up for it. Okay. I'm gonna select, oh, by the way, another thing you can do too, like let's say you want to select more than one layer. Let's say you want to resize a bunch of layers at one time. Select this. Select this. Okay, look. To do that, what you do is click on that layer, and let's say you want to select all the way up into this layer. You hold down Shift, click it, and it'll select all that. Okay. Or you can select more. Okay. All right. Like let's say you want to resize everything. So if you did all that, you could select all that's in a selection. If you did this and hit Shift at the same time, the whole thing moves down. So like let's say you wanted to make a display with several different ones to show your customers how many the different types of LSU ones you have. There you go. You can make 4 different LSU backgrounds, and they can pick from one, and you could put it on a banner, at the fucking front door whenever they're there. Who knows? All right, I'm gonna get rid of this real quick. Delete it. Okay, one other thing. Let's just say download. Hold on. Downloads. Let me just grab an image, someone's image, preferably of someone. Wait, what was that? Man, I really need to start my computer. Okay. Okay, let's just say this. It's a friend of ours. Okay. Okay, here we go. Let's say we want to cut her out from this background. Okay? You see there's some contrast there. So cutting it out here, selecting here is not going to be a big deal. This is where you're going to have the problems. Right there, where the colors are really close together. So we're going to do a select. And I'm going to get in here and just, oh wait. Okay. Watch, it's probably going to catch some of her hair. And even if it does, it's not that big of a deal. Remember, right now we're on plus. See, we're on plus over here on the top left. See, plus. We're adding, we're selecting. Okay, you see now it's starting to take away. Eesh. A lot. It's okay. Come down, try and bring it down to the bottom. Now, remember I was telling you, you got to go to minus. Now we want to take some of the selection out. So hit Alt, and then push some of this stuff back out. Okay. You're going to have somebody that's going to want you to cut them out, and this is how you're going to do it. See, up here is going to be kind of tight. See how these colors are really dark. They actually did a pretty good job. It's a good thing you got the good version of Photoshop. Alright, and you see how it didn't catch it right there? I'm going to grab right there. Wait a second, maybe unselect. That's right. Okay. Now, here's what we're going to do. It did a good job. Now, I want you to refine. You see how it says refine edge up here? I want you to click it. Now watch what it does. You see how I did that to her? And you can see how the lines are really jagged. And there's still some hair in there. Okay? So what you do is hold on. Okay. See, this is too small. You're going to want to grab the pen, open it up. It's a bigger circle. Okay. It's important that you do not select all in the hair. You keep the crosshair out. So half the circle is on, the crosshair is off, just like I got it right now, and you follow, little at a time. You click, move, click, and move. So watch, I'm going to click it. Now watch what it's going to do. See how it smoothed it out? Now watch, I'm going to click. Click. Oof. Okay. And then I'm going to see how it's jagged there. And depending on how good the photo is that the customer gives you will determine like the resolution. You know, how high the resolution is will determine how well it cuts it out. Okay. Alright. Okay, now watch. Remember we were selecting, you hit OK there. It's doing a bunch of bullshit. Alright, now remember, now if I were to try and delete, I can't. Remember, it's a smart object. When you see that little thing in there, you can't do nothing with it. So double click, resaturize layer, now you're able to hit delete, and boom, there you go. Hit deselect. Now you got some other little things you need to work with. You know, you can get that out of there. And yes, there are some areas on the top of her head. I'm not a perfect at this, and if you want, you can zoom in and go to your erase tool. Make sure the layer is selected, and you can really Z to zoom. Let me go back out. And that's pretty decent. Now if you want to crop it out, oh, no. Don't crop. Now watch, if we want to, let's just say we want to crop. Hold on. Crop it like that. Alright, now watch this. Add that layer, the layer that's below her. Double click on the layer, color overlay. And now you can play around with it all you want. You could throw another layer behind it, like this. Make that layer black. take that layer, go to filter. Remember we talked about this. Render, lens flare. Put a glowing light behind her head. Turn down the brown layer. Fucking beautiful. Perfect. It's a pretty good picture. Laura would probably appreciate it. Alright. That is it on this one. Now, real quick, we're going to just go, we're going to open. We're going to go, I'm going to, let me see, party shot layout. We're going to open up. This is a party shot layout. Hold on. Okay. This is how you start out with a party shot, okay? On this one right here, okay, to print this out, okay, here's what you got to do. Let's just say we wanted to do, let's just say, you know, you've already photoshopped your, you know, you got your LSU Tiger in there. Let's see. Copy image. Command V. Command V. To paste. What? Copy image. Come over here. There it goes. Okay. Alright, we're just going to leave it like that. It's awesome, right? Now you got all these layers. I've got my light. I've got my shot block layer up there. And I've got my that. And I've got my background layer. Okay? I want to print this out. Right now, I'm going to show you what the canvas is. Canvas size is 20 inches wide, 10 inches wide, 20 inches tall. Okay? You're going to go through these processes right here to print this particular shot block. Okay? This size right here. Alright, if we were to print it like it sits, since this is 10 inches wide and your printer is 24 inches, you'd be wasting all this paper over here. Okay, because it would only print on one side. So what we want to do is we want to flip this image on its side to where we only take up, you know, 10 inches of your of the print paper. So what we'll do is we're going to take we're going to flatten this. We're going to flatten the image. So all these layers we're going to put on one layer. So you go to layer, flatten image. See, everything is on one layer now. That's it, one layer, and it's locked. I don't like them locked. So how do we do that? How do we get it unlocked? Command duplicate, right? Command J. Now let's delete the locked layer, okay? Okay, so let's turn this thing on its side. First, what we got to do is we got to turn the canvas into the right size. Canvas is going to be 24 inches wide and 10 inches tall. Okay? Because your printer prints 24 inches wide and we'll only want to use 10 inches of the paper. Okay? So, proceed. Now you see how the canvas is now sideways and this is up and down? We're going to take this image that's flattened, edit, transform, and rotate it clockwise. And you're going to move it to one side. To where now you're only going to be missing this piece of paper right here. Okay? And that's it. Now, of course, this background's white. But if the background was any different color, you'd be able to see where the cutoff was. Okay, but you're not. So if you do have a white background like this and you're not sure where to cut it, put your ruler right there. Okay, go to your line. This is your shapes. Double click on it. Line tool. You got to double click on it though. Don't forget. You got to double click on it, or double click and hold, and you know that's how you get to that. I mean, if you got to understand, every one of these that have an arrow in them also have other things that they do. Okay. Line tool. Which is gonna, if you grab here and you do that, if you have a ruler there, it'll snap to it for you. Okay, and there you go. It put a line there for you, so that when you print, you'll be able to see a line. You'll know where to cut. The way you print is you go to File, Export, your IPF 6100 print plugin. Don't go to Print. You already know this, I'm sure. Go to Print plugin. The way I do mine is this way. Roll paper obviously is selected. Borderless printing. Right now there's different pages on this thing. Make sure you're on page setup. Click borderless printing. You want to go to your size option. There's already a bunch of pre-sizes in here you can do. I've made my own. To make one, you just call it whatever you want. Quarter block. You can call it whatever you want. Whatever. And then you put your width. Like I've already got one. I call it vinyl 1. That one right there. So anyway, vinyl 1, and you put your width, 24. You do not write your width of your shot block. It's the width of the paper. So it's 24. Height is 10 inches. You can hit add, or if you're creating a new one, you'd hit add, and then it adds it in here. See, I've got a bunch of different ones in here. But if you already got it, you just clicked it and then click OK. And now, as you can see, it's got it area. Now, preview is print area, image. You're gonna always want this on print area layout. Okay. And then hit print. And that's all I do with that. Alright, close plugin. Okay. If you have any questions, give me a call, but oh, here I am. Oh, thanks, Dad. Huh? I love you. Huh? That was in a nutshell. Hope you caught it all. My beard getting long, too. Man, it ain't getting long. We've been watching too much Duck Dynasty. Alright, hopefully it works. Love you.